yet. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson does this fight get you excited at all? I don't know what to think of it, but it's on Netflix in July. What are your thoughts on this highly divisive matchup?
I feel like I have and you said this is my last question. I want to thank you guys. When Demetrius started this and I kept watching all these guests and I wasn't is he ever going to invite me? So thank you for having me on. Guys, I feel like I have my thumb on top of the sport, what it wants to see, from wrestling to boxing. I feel like that about myself. Now, Jake Paul and Tyson is one you just never imagined. It wasn't going to happen. They weren't allowed to do it. Multiple different weight classes involved between a guy that fights at 185 and a former heavyweight. So my point is, it took a little minute to digest. It took a minute to kind of understand what's happening. You know there's something big. You got this Netflix involvement. Now, you and I, Demetrius, need for Netflix to have a positive experience in this space so that they will stick around. And I was so worried, hey, I think they grabbed the wrong one here. I don't think people are going to want to see this. They eventually got Texas just recently last week to actually make it a fight. There's a reason to win now because this will go against Tyson's record, which is such a wonderful legacy. And all of a sudden, it starts to feel a little bit more real. 8 rounds, a little too many, I think, for Mike to do well, but 2-minute rounds with a 1-minute rest, all of a sudden you start to give Mike some real hope here. And boy, does he ever need it. And think about how life is going to be for Mike. As celebrated as he is just as a human and a figure, imagine the next 20 or 30 years of his time on this planet, how he's going to be looked at, how he's going to be revered. Mike Tyson is largely for like my son, something he's heard about. And my son respects him and knows that that's a star, but he never saw him. He never saw one of his walkouts or weigh-ins or press conferences or matches. So now it's this whole new demographic where this guy is a legend, but they're going to actually see him. I just think that's exciting. I mean, listen, if Michael Jordan came back, there is so many kids that'll go, wow, I heard of the greatness, but I can't believe I'm actually going to see it. And he does not want to lose to Jake Paul. I mean, when you're talking about that legacy and how you're going to be remembered, that just isn't the loss that you want.
Yeah, I agree with you. My best friend, one of my brothers, texts me. He goes, man, I don't want to see one of my heroes growing up watch box get knocked out. And I was like, wait a minute now. You're talking about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson just fought Roy Jones Jr. He did a great job. He even did that fight high, if I heard him correctly, and he looked damn well good. He's training with some good coaches, and I think Mike Tyson's still got it. He's going to come out there and he's going to surprise us, and I'm happy. I'm shocked they made it an actual fight and sanctioned it. I think the only thing I'm worried about is Mike Tyson's health. Getting hit in the head at that age is never the best thing to do. But hey, I think Netflix is smart getting in the business. They had their first live stream with the Cat Williams. I watched that live, and it went very, very well. So let's see. I'm super excited to see how it turns out, man. I'm pumped for it.
See, me too. And Demetrius, I think normally you and I would be haters on something like we're MMA guys and this is boxing for one. And then you got this YouTube star. It's like, no, we actually have an open mind here. They're very smart with the rules. Netflix and the business stamp, and that kind of adds an element. Let's stand back and see what happens. I'm with you. I've been invited to a party for that. Now, I believe the date is July 20th, but Coach T. Cantor invited me to. I have not been invited to a fight party in about 5 years. So the fact that this is the one where a guy's planning this in advance and it's a potluck and my wife and I got to bring this special dip. I mean, I'm just saying that hasn't happened to me in about 5 years. So there's part of the population pretty into this match.